Good evening. This is my seventh blog for Informatics 645 at Mercer University for Dr. Bhaskaran. My name is Janice Terry. This week we were tasked with choosing 3 of the 10 listed important characteristics of good measures and or matrix and explain them with an example. First of all, I want to describe or define matrix. Matrix are standards used to measure and assess performance. It can be used in almost any industry, from marketing to healthcare, in sales and employee satisfaction. Matrix are usually tracked to help aid in improving the results of a business. For an example, you gotta remember the old adage, you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. So a business may think that they're doing things proper and have the best intentions of improving their customer satisfaction, but if they don't know where they started from or where they are now, then they really won't have a quantifiable way to know that they are improving. Hence, one of the characteristics I picked is baseline. Baseline is a measurement used to determine the exact starting point. Generally, it's the period of time before an implementation has started. It's used for comparative purposes, and you generally want to make sure that there's some type of improvement after an implementation has been set into motion. And the improvement can either be an increase or decrease, depending on what you're looking at. For example, in this section, I have visits to the emergency department and or hospital before the establishment of an educational class or video for patients and families to attend prior to discharge about their disease process or disorder. For example, with asthma. A lot of people know or suspect that they know what asthma is, but generally, if they can go to the class and learn more information about it and how to treat it at home and things to avoid, then that would decrease the likelihood of them having to return visit to the emergency department. Also, looking at readmission rates of asthmatics before implementing an asthma action plan being given to the families before they discharge. Asthma action plans are roadmaps that instruct patients and families what to do when in case of an asthma episode. Another baseline matrix to look at would be the length of stay for a pneumonia patient before the use of a new antibiotic. So say a new antibiotic comes out and the doctors want to use it for their pneumonia patients. They suspect that it would treat it more effectively. They should establish a baseline, look and see what their baseline length of stay is with the current antibiotic before moving forward with the new one so that they have something to compare that to. Validity is the second characteristic that I picked. Validity is a matrix measuring what it's supposed to measure. So you want to make sure that you have the most accurate data. You can get errors in reporting if you're relying on another individual, another system. You may get underreporting of incidents that can skew the percentages and either give you the perception that all is well, when in reality it can be the opposite and vice versa. An example with the voluntary reporting of near-miss incidents or even falls in the hospital. So say a near-miss occurs and the staff members involved get distracted by another emergency, they fail to report it. So your number of near misses is inaccurate, which makes your data invalid. Also, if you have an occurrence reporting system that the staff is to use to report these near misses. And like I said again, they lacked the time to enter it. They had an unstable patient. They were getting admissions, understaffed, or the system is too complicated to access, then your data will be skewed. Feasibility is the requested data easily attained. If you have to pull this data from multiple sources, is there an existing system that can run a report? Will there be a need for new technology to be able to get the results? All these must be taken into account when you're looking at feasibility of data. Examples here could be a retrospective chart audit to determine if a patient received the flu shot or how many patients received the flu shot in a particular time frame. Also, looking at retrospectively the usage of chest x-rays in the emergency department for patients that come in with an asthma exacerbation. Typically, patients with asthma do not need a chest x-ray, and is generally not indicated. And overusage of resources. Here are my sources for this week's assignment. Thank you and have a good night.